What's up, everybody? This is Same Sis.
But different.
And I'm your girl, Shay Live.
I'm Asia.
And this week, we are so fortunate to have a amazing person on to be interviewed and give us all the tips and tricks. She is an actress and the breakout star of the new Netflix series, Gentefied. Drum roll, please. Welcome to the show, Julissa.
Hi, y'all. Thank you for having me.
Of course. We kind of wanted to start off by letting you tell us and everybody who's listening and watching kind of a little backstory. I know that you're from New York and moved to Florida.
Born in,
you tell us.
You know what? I'm born in New York, raised in Miami. Although everyone thinks, like, for whatever reason, I'm just a New Yorker, which is awesome because I guess I got that, like, that flavor. But Miami has flavor too. A lot of Dominicans from New York end up coming down to Miami because of the weather and its warmth. Like, we end up being like, oh, well, there's a lot of Dominicans over there, so let's go. So we migrate from DR to New York to Miami. So I was born in New York. I lived there till I was 5 or 6, and then raised in Miami. So Miami made me.
Okay, cool. And when exactly did you know you wanted to be an actress?
You know what? I actually was like in anything of the arts since I was a little girl. And then when I got to high school, I was like too cool. It was like I don't want to be in this. I want to like be the cool girl and the popular girl. And I made that happen. And then and then I left. I went to college. I went to the University of Florida. And at the University of Florida, I went in as a nursing major, as a pre-med major, going to be a nurse. And like 2 semesters in, I was like, this ain't it. This is not what I like, what I want. And I ended up switching back to being a theater major. And I graduated with a degree from theater, yeah.
So were you doing, prior to going to college, were you doing musical theater acting, were you, aside from being the popular girl at school, were you in the arts? Like, did you immerse yourself into like classes and plays and
after 8th grade, after I got to high school, I was done. I stepped out, and then before that I was in every play, in every show choir, in anything possible. Like, my mom was the mom that was taking me to all of the different shows that I had to do. And then in high school, I literally went cold turkey. I was like, I'm not doing that. That's not cool anymore. And I stopped.
Okay, so you moved to LA with what?
Oh, after college?
Yeah, like, what did you want to do when you moved to LA?
Oh, yeah. Well, after I graduated, I went back to Miami. I wanted to move to LA, but I mean, listen, my mom was not having it. She's like, you are not moving to LA. You don't got no money. You don't know nobody over there. You just can't go, which is like most of our parents, right? They're like, you just can't pick up and leave. And so I ended up staying in Miami after college for almost 2 years. And I did about 4 off-Broadway shows. I got into the theater scene there in the theater market. I did a couple big things. And then afterwards was like, all right, I'm ready for Hollywood. And I ended up coming out here.
What would you say was like the moment that you realized like I could actually make acting a career?
I don't know. That's a hard question. I don't know if there's like a light bulb that goes out or anything. I think like me coming to LA was like, I think that was it probably. Like, me coming here was like, okay, well, this is what I'm going over there for, because I'm definitely not going over there to like just wait tables, which I did for the first 3 years I was here. Like everybody.
Of course, yeah.
Right? But yeah, no, I think coming here was like, I never had a plan B. That was never I'm not one of those people. I don't do that. I don't know how to think outside of the box. My box is like real tight, and I'm like, this is what's happening. We're gonna make it happen.
I know that's right.
Yeah, so that's really it. That's what happened. And I came to LA actually on again, I tricked my mom because she wasn't trying to let me leave. But I ended up coming to LA for an audition. And I had a round trip flight. I was only supposed to be here for 5 days. And I was like, on my second day, I was like, yeah, I'm staying. I don't know how I'll make it happen, but I'll make it happen. I had like $300 in my bank account. Like I didn't have a car. My mom's aunt was the one who like put my rental car on her card, because my mom didn't have the money to be like, I got you rent a car for 2-3 weeks. And I ended up staying with the car for like 2-3 weeks trying to figure out LA, and I stayed here crashing in somebody's house that I had no idea who they were.
Yeah, I feel like that's similar to everybody's story that comes out to LA, especially to like work in the industry. It's like, yeah, I couch hopped, I rented a car, I did this, I did that.
Yeah.
But you had mentioned that like you had to come out and do the whole audition circuit. So within that, what would you say is your most disappointing no and your most rewarding yes?
Okay, Asia, she came through. She's like, let me do my research. These are good
Darling,
questions.
I was Googling Julissa because she is a star now.
She's so silly. I just like it because I feel like, I mean, during this quarantine, I've been doing so many interviews and so many podcasts, and I feel like, it gets redundant, the same questions.
Julissa, we try to innovate, okay? We try to stay current.
I love it. I fuck with it. Can I curse here?
Do whatever you like.
Okay. I was like, I curse. I curse a lot. You know what? I had a no that was so ridiculous. And when I actually talked to the casting director, when I saw her at a movie screening of one of the movies that I did like 2-3 years ago, she was like, "Hi, I just wanted to tell you how brilliant you were in this." And I was like, so surprised, because I had bombed with her a year prior, and I was like, do you remember me? And she's like, what do you mean? And I was like, I auditioned for a show. And she was like, no. And I was like, girl, that's good, because it was my worst audition. So the audition was, I'll say it, who cares? It was for the show Star.
Okay.
On Fox, right? I think it's on Fox.
Mm-hmm.
And it was for one of the leads. Fast forward, which is crazy, but this character never came up in the show. Like they X'd out the whole character, which made me feel like, okay, good. Like it wasn't that bad. But I went in for the audition, and it was a rap. You had to do the audition, the piece, and then you had to rap. And I was like, all right, my acting is on point. Like I don't have I don't second guess my acting. So I went in, and she was like, what do you want to do first? I'm like, let's act. And then I would get it out of the way. So we did it, and she was like, good. Like we're engaging, and most casting directors, if you've ever been to the casting, they don't talk to you a lot. Like it's 2-3 words, let's keep it moving. But she was engaging. She's like, I like that. Why did you choose that? And once they start asking you questions, you're like, okay, I got something that I did they liked. Mm-hmm. So I'm feeling myself a little bit. And then she's like, all right, let's move, let's rap. And I was like, let's do it, girl. And it ended up, I picked Little Kim's verse on I can't even remember the song. You want to rumble with the bee, huh? Do you know that shit?
With the whole family.
Your whole family dressed in all black like an omen. Look, I know that shit now. And I bombed. Like I could not get the words out. And I kept rapping though. Like instead of it being like, all right, let me start over. Hold on. My nerves took control of me, and I just was rapping in circles. And then I was just like, after I finished, which I think I even mixed up like her verses, I think another verse off of something and intertwined it. At the end, I was like, okay, I'm done. And it was the most goofiest shit I've ever done in my life. I feel like I'm not a goofy bitch, but that was some goofy shit. And she was just like, thank you so much. Like her whole everything, how we was vibing, it didn't even happen like that no more. It was like
stop.
Thank you so much for coming.
But it's tough. A lot of people like really underestimate like when your nerves get you in the moment and you have to like catch up on the fly. Like that shit is very, very hard.
It's a real thing. It's hard. And I just, instead of stopping, because I think that the best thing, and I do give this advice to people now, it's like when you mess up in an audition, you stop. You control the tempo of the room. You are in control of the room. Nobody's in control but you. They want you to win. They want you to be the person that they give the job to. They're looking for you. So you got to control it. I tell everybody now, if you mess up, you stop. You gather yourself. You say, can I get a second? And then you do whatever you have to do. But in the moment, I think I say that now, like looking back, I just was always like, pick me, it's me. I know I'm good. Versus it just being like, this is what it is. And if you don't like it,
right,
next.
Right. Would you say that Gentefied was your most rewarding yes?
Oh yeah, just because of the complete opposite. I went in, I got a call. They passed on me twice, which is like, it's crazy to say it now. I went in twice and they passed on me twice. They were like, yeah, she's just too Dominican. She's too New York. And I was like, I ain't from New York.
And they were looking for an LA-based Mexican girl.
They
right?
wanted what they call a Blaxican, right? Like a black Mexican girl from East LA who had the accent, who you can tell, like, off rip, as soon as she opens her mouth, oh yeah, she's from LA. And when I open my mouth, ain't nobody ever gonna think that. So they passed twice, and I was okay with it just because I was like, oh, that's fine. Like, I don't fit the mold. They looking for something else. That's cool. And as well as, you audition, you audition for a million things. You get a million no's. You like chalk it up to the next one. Like, it's fine. Right. So as much as I did love the project, because as I knew about it before, it was a web series. I'm not sure if you guys know that, but it was a web series that ended up going to Sundance Film Festival and then had a bidding war, and Netflix bought it and ended up making it, right?
Wow. I think I heard about the Sundance.
Yeah. So it was like, it's been in the works for years. So I knew about it years ago, and I thought, damn, this is so dope. Like, this is going to be such a bomb-ass show, just because the web series was really good. And I was okay with getting the no. That's all I was like, all right, next, whatever. And then a day before they had the chemistry read, which is the final audition, they had 4 girls. They were down to 4 girls, me being one of them. My manager calls me. He's like, yo, I'm gonna fuck up your whole world. And I was like, what? He's like, Gentefied wants to see you one last time tomorrow. And they're down to 4 girls and you're one of them. I was like, wait, what? I'm like packing. I was packing to go to Europe. I'm packing to go to Europe for like a month. I was in some, like, I think I had seen you, Asia, maybe a few months or weeks before then. I was leaving BuzzFeed.
Yes.
And I was going on this eat, pray, love adventure to Europe. I was like, I'm gonna go figure myself out. I don't got no plans, but I know I don't wanna be doing this anymore. And so I was packing to go, literally it was my last day at BuzzFeed, April 3rd of last year. And I wake up in the morning to my manager telling me, like, I'm about to fuck up your whole world. You got an audition tomorrow. And I'm like, an audition? Well, he's like, it's the chem read. And I'm like, a chem read? Like, that's like the final, we about to, like, that's the end. And he's like, I know. And I'm like, at what time? And he's like, it's at 3. And I'm like, my flight is at 5. Like, I gotta go. And he's like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. And I was like, oh Lord, why is this happening? So I ended up, I was leaving to New York just for like a day to go do a gig out there and then flying to Europe after. So I had time to wiggle it. So I ended up just changing my flight, going into the audition. But the morning when he calls me, he's like, yeah, they want to see you. They're so excited. You're down to the last 4, but they want you to change your accent. And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, if you could just dial back the New York and the. And I was like, I don't know how to do that. Like, I'm not good with accents. I'm not one of those actors who can just turn things on and I don't know how to do that shit. I can talk to you in the French accent, all of a sudden I'm Jamaican. Like, that ain't it. So I was like, 24 hours, you want me to change the accent. So I got a coach, he gets me a coach. I'm on the phone with the coach. I'm like, trying to do these like that the LA people do and however they talk. And I couldn't like, to me, I knew I wasn't doing well. Although she was like, this is good, you're getting there. I was like, I know I don't sound good. Like, to me, I don't sound good. So the day of, like 2 hours before my audition, I just was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do the accent. I'm gonna go in that bitch like me. And it is what it is. If they like me, they like me. If they don't, I'm good. I'm going to Europe for a month. I'm about to be living. Like, it's cool. And so I ended up going in, did the audition. I was the first girl in the room. I did it. And then afterwards, like I said, you control the room. And it was the first time I ever spoke up in a room. And I, before leaving, walked back in. And I actually kind of walked out and then kind of walked back in. I was like, can I just have like a minute of your time? And they were like, sure. And I was just like, listen, I understand that you guys are looking for an East LA girl. I understand that I'm not that girl, but I know for a fact, nobody's gonna do it better than I'm gonna do it. Like what you're getting with me is what you're getting with me is this character. I'm gonna bring her to life more than any other girl in the other room is gonna do. And so they were all just, mind you, when I left that room and I got in my car, I was like, what the fuck were you thinking? Like, you don't talk to them and tell them, like, you know, like, cause it's not what you do. Like, you just never go in a room. You think like you just have to be on your pins and needles, and it's not. And a few hours later, I was on my way to the airport and I got a call like, yo, you booked it. And I was like, shut up. And they were like, yeah, whatever you said at the end, that sealed the deal. And it ended up being just that. Like when I talk to the EPs now and everything, they're like, yo, Julissa, was like, you like dropped the mic when your acting was insane, and then you left, and then you came back, and it was like, hold up. If I didn't do what I need to do right now, I need to tell y'all why it's me. And they were like, that just solidified. It was you. Like, we didn't even, the girl who plays my girlfriend on the Gentefied now, she was like, after I left the room and everything, she was like, I don't really want to audition any other girls. She had already booked the role. So she was kind of just like, it's her. Like, what, do we need to see the other girls? And they were like, yes. Like, we can't just stop it. And so yeah, it's the most rewarding because I stayed true to myself, and I went with kind of just like jumping off a bridge and being like, let's see what happens. And if they like it, they like it. If not, it's cool. But how amazing is it for me to have taken a stance and have it turn out the way that it did?
Yeah,
that
100%.
is super amazing. That is such a crazy story. I know when we were like talking about you before the show, Asia was like, you know, the writers wrote her into this character and like all that stuff. But hearing that story, I was like, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like you think about it and you're like, nah, that doesn't happen. But like it happened to me. And in history, if you look at like how many people have been rewritten, it's not a common thing in shows, right? It's like very like, oh, you hear about one in like 50 stories, maybe more, that they're like, oh, we switched it around for this. But in this case, they switched up a whole episode. I think episode 8, where you see my backstory of me as a little girl. Instead of it being me, a little girl in East LA, they switched the whole dialogue of me talking about New York, of me talking about Dominicans, of me talking about Dominican things that we don't ever see in a Mexican show. Mm-hmm. So it's like the biggest win. It's been so rewarding. Just that, even if like the show doesn't go anywhere else, because we still don't have a second season, we still don't know what's going on. But just the fact that like I could say that, and the fact that like we see Dominicans on a show represented, where in the world of Hollywood we only see Puerto Ricans and Mexicans, like we won.
Yeah, that's a big win. And I know you've been doing like magazines and like you're saying like a bunch of interviews. Like how rewarding has it been or like just the feedback you've been getting from Dominicans throughout this whole journey? Like what's that been like?
Oh man, girl, it's crazy. And you know what? It's been like, I think I get shy when people talk to me too, and they're like, yo, you're like popping, you got this, and you're like, hey, yeah, it's a lot. You're like, what's going on? Yeah. But yeah, it's been so great. It's been so amazing for girls to be like, yo, I'm so happy that I'm represented. Like, I finally could go on TV and see a girl who has her natural hair and her curls are popping, and she's like a brown girl, which we don't see. And then and if you do see it, it's as a Black woman, which is like, okay, I'm a Black woman, but I'm also a Latina.
Right.
We don't see that on TV ever. We just like, if you're a Latina, you're very fair skinned. Your hair is like very like straight and very like J-Lo-ish and Sofia Vergara, and like that's not what we look like, all of us,
right?
Like, at all.
Well, I feel like for us being from the East Coast, like the Dominican culture is huge.
Yeah. That
it's been used to, like we've been used to it. Like when we came here, Shane and I were like, you don't have Dominicans here? Okay, how am I getting my hair done? Like, what do you mean? Yeah. And like your accent, what you look like, what Dominicans to us are and look like and embrace, like you're right, it's not, I rarely can pinpoint it out, especially on a screen. So that is Really, really awesome. I wanted to ask you, what would be your top 3, like your 1, 2, and 3 pieces of advice for anybody that is moving out to wherever, New York, LA, just trying to embark on a journey of being in the industry as an actor, as a content creator, as a producer? What are the 3 things that you would say, like, you know, do this, don't do this, watch out for this?
Because I rep being authentic to like its maximum, I would say authenticity is going to take you so much farther than trying to fit into the crowd and look like every other girl or every other guy or do what everybody's doing. Like literally what sets people apart, when you see greatness, when you see these people that like make it, and you see these people that are like, how we say, popping and on top and all these things, like it's because they had something that everybody else didn't have. They had like that it factor, but that it factor is really something just about you that's like different, and you allowed it to shine. So I would say 1, keep your authenticity, because it's like it's your ticket in. What else? 2, do the work and stop fucking looking for immediate gratification, because that shit is not a real thing. And we do that so often in this generation. I think everybody's always quick to be like, well, I've been doing this for 2 years. What's up? Like, I was looking at my first off-Broadway show, and that was in 2012. So 8 years ago was my first off-Broadway show. So we talking, that's 8 years. I'm coming on my 9th year. Like, we're working, like, and this is just a small break in my career. So do the work, put your head down. It does take time, but when you get that yes, or when you finally have your break, it's more rewarding than you just getting it off the heels of someone else or because you know somebody. And then another one, damn, I would say, you know what, to girls, because I'm sure women are listening to this podcast, right? And I'm a big advocate for women. Like, you don't gotta mess with nobody to get where you want to get to. Like, you don't gotta open your legs. You don't gotta go on no dates. You don't gotta, like, if somebody tries you, say something. I think so much time, I had this happen to me actually in my first year here. And it's crazy because I know who he is now. Like, we went to Starbucks. He wanted to see my resume and my pictures, and I was like, sure. You know, I was here maybe 6 months, if that. I met him at a Starbucks. I have my folder with me. Not one time did he tell me, open the folder, let me see what's, whatever. And as I was walking to my car, as he's walking me to my car, he's like, yeah, I think we could definitely work on some things. I was like, cool. But at the end of the day, I think he thought that I was, I'm not a meek girl. Like, I've never been that way. I'm real quick. I'm a sharpshooter. So I'm like, I felt it, and I'm like, all right, well, I don't know about this guy, but I'm a roll with this little meeting. By the time he's walking me to the car, at the end, he says something wild that I won't even repeat. And I was just like, what? What'd you just say? And he was like, no, I'm just saying. And I was like, bruh, you got the wrong bitch. Like, you really got the wrong bitch. And I was like, fuck you, fuck your management. I was like, we'll see each other at the top. And he was like, who are you talking? Like, he kind of said something about like blacklisting me. And I looked at him and I was like, well, do what you gotta do. We'll see each other at the top. And I like got in my car and I drove off, and I was like, are we kidding right now? Like, seriously? But now, I don't think he does anymore, but he was dating one of the biggest comedians' ex-wives. And I was like, that's who's managing your career? This dirty ass man who was a grown ass man. I was 23 when I moved to LA. Like, I'm a young girl. How dare you? So yeah, just that, like, I could have been the opposite. I could have been like, oh wow, he's gonna elevate my career. He's gonna do all these great things, and that just isn't it. So I would say that, like, stick to your morals if you have any. If you don't, go look for some. But there's no need to do the most to get ahead. It's never worth it.
That is like the perfect way to end it, because we actually wanted to ask you, like, people have to do so much to even just stay in the industry and stay relevant. And especially when you're doing a lot of auditions and you're not getting a lot of yeses, like, a lot of people might, be like, well, what do I need to do? Like, kind of get to a point where it's like, but how can they keep a sense of self in this industry? Like, for people, because not everybody is a sharpshooter. I feel like, we all from the East Coast, so we might be like, fuck you, fuck your mama. I'll do it. I'll get it how I'm gonna get it. But not everybody's like that. So like, is there any little tip of or any glimpse of advice that you can give somebody who's like, I'm a little bit more timid, but like I still want to be me, but I don't know what to do now?
Yeah, I would just say you got to do the work. You got to do the work. If you could be as timid as you want to be, but if you're doing the work, you're gonna be all right. And you just have to wait your course. Like you wait your time. Again, I go back to like our generation just being like, I want to make it, and it's like you gotta put in work. Like the 10,000 hours. I don't know if you guys ever heard that rule that it's like it takes 10,000 hours to actually make it. I believe in it. I think that that's a real thing. I think that if you want longevity in your career, you gotta put in the work. You gotta wait it out. And it's okay to be timid, but if you are timid, go find you a friend that ain't. go
find you your personal Julissa, and she will get you all the way together.
I will get you right. Or you just gotta also just believe in yourself, because you could be timid. I have timid friends that will never say the things that I will say, but they'll still stand true to themselves, and I think that's a big deal. Like when you come to LA, a lot of people, I think, come to LA and they kind of lose their sense of self because we are in a new city and it's so lavish and it's so, and you're so far usually away from where you live or where your home is that you could pretend to be a whole different person. Ain't nobody gonna know.
And there's a huge misconception of when people come here, they want to act Hollywood and act LA to fit in. And it's like, no, girl, you'll be surprised. All these people are not from here. That is that is a made up thing. So
that is, it's so true. So be you, man.
Be you. Patience is a virtue too in the industry.
Patience is key, because there's a lot. It's gonna take some time.
10,000 hours.
So to wrap up the show, we usually have a little game, a little fun moment. We've been doing a fuck, marry, kill.
Ooh, you want me to do that?
We're gonna do a Netflix version with a couple of shows.
Okay.
And it's gonna, instead of fuck, marry, kill, it's binge, it's a pastime, or you're signing out.
Binge. What's the second one?
Pastime, like you'll keep it on if you're cooking and chatting on the phone. It's just on the TV just for some noise, or you're signing out the app.
Damn, I think I might want to take that for fuck, marry, kill versus this. Y'all trying to fuck up my Netflix money. Let's do it. Let's go.
Okay, so the three options are, and we just did it from like, you know, the heightened popularity while we're all in quarantine. Right, the quarantine popping, you know, moment. So number one, we have Tiger King. Number two is Love is Blind. And the third one, which Shane and I are both watching now, and it's become super popular, but I didn't know it was on for so long, Money Heist.
Okay. So for sure, binge Money Heist, because it's like one of the best shows ever.
So good.
Luckily, I watched it in Spanish, because obviously I speak Spanish. So, which is like, everybody's talking about it, and I can't even imagine how much they're talking about it and don't even understand that the translations don't even equal how they're talking. You're like, damn, this is good. It's so good. So binge Money Heist. I'm going to pass time on Love is Blind. I saw it. It's wild. It has its crazy moments, and you should watch it. And then just sign the hell out of Tiger King, because that's some white buffoonery. It's wild. I'm like, wow, who gave these people a show? I didn't finish it. I was like, yeah, this ain't for me. Like, this is wild.
I tried to, and I was like, I just can't.
I didn't watch it either. But Money Heist is the one, and I wish that I did watch it in Spanish, because it is annoying watching it in the translated version.
Shayna, soon enough. Shayna's been taking Spanish.
Yes, girl. Keep doing your Duolingo. Whatever it is that you're doing, do that, because that's awesome.
Well, thank you so much.
It was an amazing episode having you. Like, you dropped a million gems for everybody who's trying to make it in this industry. We're so proud of you. Gentefied, congratulations. You are a superstar.
I appreciate you guys. Keep doing this. This is awesome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Just go ahead and plug your socials.
La Julissa, LA Julissa.
La Julissa.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, you'll
Make
find
sure you
me.
guys-
Even or you just type my name in, it'll come up.
I know that's right. And everybody make sure you follow us at Same Sis Podcast on everything. And you know the drill. Leave the comments, like, share, repost, and we will see you next Wednesday.
Bye, girls.
Bye.